My name is Ryan Sullivan. I'm an airline pilot by day and sommelier by night. I am the Flying Somm. Today I'm going to tell you why I became a sommelier. So you might be wondering, what does an airline pilot and sommelier, have to do with anything? It's kind of an odd combination. So I thought I would just share a little bit of my background, how I became an airline pilot, how I became a sommelier, what I kind of learned from this whole experience, and what you can expect on my YouTube channel. So it all started back when I was a kid. It started with this Singapore Airlines 747. I remember going to the dollar store with a couple of bucks in my pocket, getting little dinky cars and fire trucks and little sports cars, and then I saw the Singapore Airlines 747. And I remember going back home and playing with it in the sandbox, and this exact model, this exact plane that I keep on my bedside table, Singapore Airlines 747, turned into rubber band airplanes, remote control airplanes, air cadets, flight school, flight instructor flying up north to James Bay, Hudson's Bay, all the way northern Ontario, northern Canada, to now flying based in Toronto for an airline as a captain. And that's kind of my aviation story. But we're not really here to talk about my aviation story. What I really want to share with you on this YouTube channel, a little less of the aviation side of things, a little bit more on the wine side of things. I mean, aviation's great. I'm sure we'll do some future videos talking about it, but we're really going to talk about wine, why I fell in love with wine, what I love about wine, and how I became a sommelier. So I remember being kind of in my teens, at the family Christmases, the family Thanksgiving, the big family get-togethers. I'd get the little 1 ounce of wine, white wine, red wine with dinner, and I just remember how good that wine tasted. But I just really fell in love with the interesting story behind wine, because it wasn't just the way the wine tasted or the way the wine paired with the food, but the history of wine. I mean, wine's been around since the Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Romans. Wine transcends religion and geography and geology and human history. I mean, wine is culture. It is part of human civilization and human culture, and I just find that really interesting. This particular Chardonnay, if it's planted on an east-facing slope or a west-facing slope, it makes all the difference. And when it comes to red wine, it's the same thing. It's just really interesting to study the history behind wine. Went to George Brown College here in Toronto, took Wines 1, great course. I started asking questions to my past professors. So what would it take to become a sommelier? Long story short, about 2 years later, became a certified sommelier through CAPS, the Canadian Association of Professional Sommeliers. And I started a wine business, and I've just really, really loved what I do. I get to drink wine, I get to talk about wine and teach people wine, and I get paid to do it, and it's fabulous. But I really want to do this channel to help educate you, the average consumer, a little bit more comfortable with wine, become more knowledgeable about wine, to hopefully sip better wine, to eat better food, and to live a better life through good food, good wine. So thanks for joining me on what will hopefully be a fun adventure aboard Cloud Wine. We're going to sip some good wine, we're going to have some good food, and I really hope you just learn a little bit about wine, you become more comfortable with wine. That's what this is all about. Today's featured wines are from Le Sommelier, a kind of family-run bespoke wine agency here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The best part is if you live in the GTA or Ontario, you can order these wines or these glasses. We ship them right to your front door. Check out Pascal Clément, beautiful Chardonnay from Burgundy, excellent with a nice little seafood dish, or this beautiful Brunello de Montalcino from Fanti, an excellent Tuscan wine. Click on the description below. There's a promo code for savings on your first order. And again, we can ship these wines right to your front door in Ontario. If you live outside of Ontario but you live in Canada, the best part is these beautiful high-end Rolls-Royce of wine glasses. These are a Zalto universal wine glass. These can be shipped right across Canada. Check out the description with promo codes below and help support the Flying Somm YouTube channel. We appreciate it.